Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Calypso Cigar Review Podcast. As always, in the lovely Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas. Check it out. For the YouTube viewers, you can see the lounge.
Since our last episode, we never once said who we are. I am Randy Rankin.
And I am Brandon Luna. And as always, from the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas.
See how beautiful a place this is.
I'm gonna explore the space. Check it out. TV!
Yep.
Trees!
Tree, yes.
Another TV!
Yes. What's that
There's
poster
like
there?
Tables!
What's that poster over there between the tree and the TV?
Shitty Gurkha poster.
Okay, but it looks cool.
There's a poster over there of a half-naked chick.
All right, now what's this poster over here in between the TV and the other poster?
Gurkha one?
No, to the other
Chick?
side. No.
This one?
Yeah.
That's Acid.
By Drew Estate?
Drew Estate.
And what's
You hate
next
those
to,
guys.
What's next to the Drew Estate? I don't hate Drew. What's next to the Drew Estate?
That's that's a signed poster.
Yep, of Kinky Friedman.
Kinky Friedman giving his Willie cigar. Kinky
Willie Nelson.
Friedman giving his Willie to Willie. Kinky Friedman's awesome.
Yeah.
And he makes cigars.
And Willie
he made
Nelson
a
is
cigar
awesome.
for Willie Nelson. And Willie Nelson's awesome. So that's like two awesome dudes signing which one signed the poster? Was it just Kinky? Or was it
Kinky. He was here.
Kinky signed a poster. He was here. That's
Yes, he was.
awesome.
Kinky Friedman was here.
Yep.
And so now Brandon gave you that very elegant tour of the Calypso.
Did you hear any of that?
Yes, it sounded like you were blowing my eardrums out. You're,
Okay.
you're softer now than you were earlier.
Well, I had to yell because I didn't know if they could hear me over there.
Oh, yeah, we heard you.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
heard you.
today we're smoking something that
Gifted cigar.
is very, I don't even know how to describe this. It's something that one of our listeners sent to us. Actually, two of our listeners sent to us. And, we've been mentioning that several times. If you have something you want us to review, send us over and we'll review it. And this cigar, this is like a $20 cigar. It's very
Thank you,
hard
folks.
to get. And I would have never smoked one of these if someone hadn't sent them to us to
Nope.
smoke. So, Ricky, a big shout out for Ricky Paniagua from Facebook. He's one of our listeners, big fan of the show.
Yep.
And also Damon Vitacco. So both
Thank
you
you,
guys,
Ricky and Damon.
awesome
Thank
for
you so
sending
much.
this cigar to us. And this is the
I haven't had a
Viaje
Viaje in a long time. I'm looking
Double-Edged Sword 2. So this was the new Viaje Double-Edged Sword that was at the IPCPR show this year.
Yep.
Very exclusive cigar. They've only made about 13,000 of these. It's in a jar of 19. The jar for these cigars is like $354.
Wow.
So one cigar is like $18.63. I've seen these for sale online for like $500, $490, $450. It's ridiculous how much these cigars are going for. It's a Honduras cigar. That's the country of origin. Factory is in the Racist Cubanos factory.
Ooh, we love Racist Cubanos.
We do. Wrapper's Nicaraguan, fillers Nicaraguan, binders Nicaraguan. It's a 6.5 by 50 Perfecto Vitola.
Yeah, I already cut my tip. You've got yours.
And so it released in July 22nd of 2013. 700 jars of 19 released, so only 13,300 cigars were released. We have two of them.
We have them. Thank you, Ricky and Damon. This
So
is
Ricky
awesome.
and Damon, awesome. Thank you for this. And I said we'd review it on the episode, so here we are reviewing it. Now, one of them did come damaged.
That's why
I'll
we
tell you
had
that.
to wait so long.
Yeah, and so I had to patch it. I did my little, spirit, what do you call that stuff? The
Like banana
pectin,
gum or something.
vegetable pectin,
Right,
and
yeah.
fixed it. So it did some, and we did a rock, paper, scissors thing to see who would get the messed up one. I won that, I guess. Do you consider that winning? So mine got the patch in it, but
that way you can value your work. That way you can see just how
So when it
great
tastes a
it's
little gurky, it's because I patched it with the gurkha.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, well,
Quit
that's
saying
what
I
have.
hate Drew Estate, by the way. I don't.
You hate them.
I don't.
So I'm gonna go to the camera and show you this because this is a.
Just
Cool.
don't get your face too close to the camera. That's scare people.
Shut up! Shut your face. That's it right there.
I hate your ass face.
I hate your ass face. So it is a
What movie is that
Perfecto
line from? What movie is that line
with an open foot,
Mhm.
and I'm going to go ahead and give it a cut. And I've got my Cuban Crafters, which is perfect for cutting the Perfectos and the torpedoes because it has that little hole right there, so you always get a perfect cut. Randy's already lighting his.
Now, it's not quite the tiny Perfecto foot, so I felt safe with actually using this. Usually with the, bless you.
Ah!
Usually with the tiny Perfecto, I like to use a torch because I can zero in on it.
Did you
But
do
this
a
one was
cold draw?
Yeah, it was a flavor bomb. But this being a little, I'm trying to talk cigars here.
No, I mean the cold draw is like,
yeah,
it's like floral and spicy and
wide open. As
wow.
I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Wow.
You done?
Wow. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, the typical Perfecto foot has the little tiny opening, and we discussed you just want to really put the flame just on it so you don't, light the crap out of it and lose an inch of your cigar. But this is a bigger opening, so I think I felt safe going with just the traditional light. We'll see if I fucked up or if I'm a genius. And I think we know where it's going to wind up.
Definitely fucked up. Probably a fuck up.
Actually, I was going to say the same thing, but I was trying to lead them to believe.
I'm going to use a cedar spill.
You never offer me a cedar spill.
You want a cedar spill? You lit it too fast. This is already a pre-lit cedar spill, so I probably shouldn't do this, but it's still fire, and I like messing with fire. And this is
I think that's where a lot of cigar smokers started smoking cigars, as they were pyros when they were kids.
Fire!
I know I was. But
I went to the store to get more fire.
I used to just light matches and stare at them until they get close, burn them out, light another one. I used to just love to do that. And I never lit fires. I never set anything on fire.
Perfect.
Like
as I set the laptop on fire.
Like someone did with their ball cap at a campfire.
Oh, I've got so many fire stories, it's not even funny. I'm going to tell one of them right now. When I was a kid,
why did I take us down that road?
When I was a kid, I used to set fires.
My stories are better.
Yeah, whatever.
Go ahead.
So I've got one back-to-back.
Oh my
Brandon Luna stories of fire.
Lord, I apologize.
Of my fire days.
I apologize.
So yeah, first off, first draw on this is wow.
It tastes like a Viaje. I mean, it's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It's a spicy meatball right there. It's very meaty, and I say that because certain cigars remind me of charred meat, and this is one of those cigars. It's kind of like a charred. No, you don't get that because certain people get different things. To me, it's like that grizzle from a barbecue that you smoked it and you got that smoky grizzle. That's what it's like to me.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I like it.
Damn it just went out.
Full of
because I lit it with that old Cedar Reserve, and I should anyway.
Yep. It's what you get for. If they were free, why are you skimping and trying to what's the word? When you recycle. There you go. That's why I hang out with you sometimes. You're a very wise Mexican-American man.
And you're a very wise cracker. Fucking awesome cigar. Right. To me, this is like a flavor.
Okay, when I want to talk cigars, you want to talk about stuff.
Well,
I'm trying to talk about stuff. Well, now you want to talk about cigars.
See, here's the deal, because you're blappy. I'm enjoying my cigar.
I'm trying to bring up nice words. I'm trying to rebut. You say something, I try to rebut. And you know what's funny is we're not even drunk. This is my second drink.
I know. This is just us being manic, crazy stupidness. But you got to admit, this is a good cigar. It's pretty damn tasty.
I just said it was fucking great. I said it tasted like a Viaje, and that is a compliment. And it tastes like it was made at Racy's Cubanas, which is a compliment. They have cigars that you just, you like today, you showed me a Cuban that, when today, it was some other time.
From the place.
Yeah, and from across the room, before you even told me, I said, is that a Cuban?
Yep.
Right? I did say that, right?
Yep, you did.
Same thing with this. I can tell if it's a Racy's Cubanas, and I can tell it's a Viaje, because it just has that flavor. It's just so freaking shit.
This guy works in the industry. He knows. No, I'm trying to give you a compliment.
Okay. Oh, good. Well, I'm just not used to that.
Well, no. When you work in a B&M and you constantly smoke cigars, I think he has the palate that I want to have, because he can smoke a cigar and know this is from this or this is from there.
Remember when I guessed that Oliva?
I know, and I'm not there yet. I mean, I know flavors. I can guess. You
heard it, Matt. You heard it, Matt. I'm better than Brandon.
I've only been smoking 2 years. I think I'm doing pretty good.
You really are all bullshitting aside. But to be fair, while I've smoked since the late '90s, I haven't given a crap about what I've smoked.
Yeah.
Except for about the last 5 years. So I've only got 3 years on it. I mean, which granted, that's a lot.
I think it's just that's what makes this interesting, is that you have a much more developed palate than I do. You've smoked a lot more than I have. I'm kind of new coming into this, so I've got the new perspective per se. But we both have our own opinions on stuff, and that's the thing about cigars, is that we both have kind of this similar palates. Like, I know if I like a cigar, he's probably going to like it.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
Every time you pick me out something,
Yeah.
For the most part of life.
And pretty much when we smoke something, we both don't like it at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
we don't even, like, he'll even, and this is what's cool about it, is like Matt will get something, he'll smoke it. He'll give it to him, he'll smoke it. He'll tell me, smoke this. But he won't tell me anything about it. It's like, well, what'd you think? He's like, nah, nothing. You smoke it, tell me what you think.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, we're all kind of in line with each other. Because we just have
Matt and I
similar
learned that the hard way, because reps would give us cigars, and we talk about it the whole time. The entire time. Like we're doing now, which is okay because we're doing a cigar review.
Yeah.
But, actually, I said that wrong. We wouldn't smoke it at the same time.
Okay.
But one of us would then give the other one and say, here, smoke it, this is badass. Or smoke it, this tastes like a Liga. Smoke it, this tastes like a Tempest. Smoke it, you know. And so we put thoughts in each other's brains, and then one would smoke it and go, well, it doesn't taste anything like what you just said.
Yeah.
But so we figured out, don't say a word, smoke it. Now the tantrum that Ezra Zion, that was the first time in a long time Matt actually said, you're going to like this cigar, it's going to blow your mind. So that's when I knew I was going to like it, and you wound up loving it too.
We all smoked it at the same time, and it was just orgasmic.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great cigar.
Great cigar.
You have not
I haven't
smoked
had one in a couple weeks.
an Ezra Zion Tantrum. Yeah, but see, you have access to them. I get like 1 or 2.
I have
That's
access to them, but I still have to pay for them. And I don't
Great
wanna pay
cigar.
for 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, but excellent cigar. But now back to this. When I say it tastes like a Viaje, it tastes like a Viaje, and that is a compliment. And when I say that, Viajes are full of flavor, they're full of pepper, they're full of spice, they're complex. They, you know, and I'm going to steal from Kirk. Kirk, I'm stealing from Poolside Cigar Reviews. When you were talking about the Esteban Carreras Diaz Años tasting like a Padron, and that shouldn't be an insult. That should be like you drive a car, you don't know what the car is, but you say it drives like a BMW.
Yeah.
This smokes like a Viaje.
Yeah.
And it is. And it's really good.
And Andre Farkas, you know what you're doing, dude.
And I'm not saying any royalties, Kirk, for
You do
stealing
some
your
good
analogy.
reviews. You do some good cigars here.
Who is this again?
Andre Farkas.
Okay,
He's the
yes,
guy
yeah.
who makes these for Viajes, the owner / operator. Now, one thing that's interesting about this is that the original release of this, the double-edged sword 1, had a closed foot on both sides, and there were some complaints about it being, you know,
How do you have a closed foot on both sides?
meaning that it was a perfecto. It was
Okay,
closed
well, that's
on
not a
both
foot,
sides.
that's a shoulder.
Well, okay, sorry, closed. It was closed on both sides.
Okay, there you go.
Pardon me. Anyway, I gave him the finger for people who were listening. So it was closed on both sides, and it retained a lot of the moisture, and people were having issues with it being soft and pliable and stuff and not smoking great. So that's why he had an open foot on this one, so that it would not have that moisture issue. And it's smoking great so far. A little off. The
Now,
burn's a little off.
There's a
but
Viaje that is much maligned, and I'm one of the people that malign it, and I don't mean to be mean, because I just said all these great things about Viaje, but the Summerfest from a few years ago, I can't remember, 11 or 10, it had that long, shaggy foot, and that cigar, I didn't know if you were supposed to smoke the whole shaggy foot or you were supposed to cut off the shaggy foot, because I'd never had that long. And I was smoking it with a buddy of mine that I've compared Brandon to a lot of times, because he's very internet savvy with cigars and had a great palate. And
he's Mexican.
no, he was white.
Okay.
Actually, he was Jewish, so there you go.
No, there you go.
Once again, proving that I embrace all cultures.
I have some of that in my background, too.
Do you, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't talk about that. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking.
The Nazis!
Because my friend is listening and he'll laugh that I made fun of that. But, where was I going?
This guy had a similar palate to you.
So he didn't know either if we were supposed to cut off the whole shaggy foot. So we didn't. We smoked it. And we're lighting ourselves on fire. I mean, and I have holes in my shirt, and I'm looking at Andy. That was this guy's name. And I said, "What? You told me to smoke that. We probably should have cut the foot off." And he's like, "I read you shouldn't cut the foot off, but I didn't know." So Matt comes in, and he's just lighting it. He's got like this much of this foot on there. And he goes, "What are you guys smoking?" We're like, "The Summerfest you just gave us." "You didn't cut off the foot?" "No." And Matt's all smoking is no problem, blah, blah, blah. We're over here trying to put ourselves off fire.
So he just trimmed it with the scissors?
Yeah, just trimmed the scissors.
Well, I think that was probably the 2009, because in the other incarnations of it, the foot was not as shaggy, it wasn't as long. But yeah.
But anyway, there was a beautiful story about how the shaggy foot, the guy found this Cuban roller that had worked on his craft and had perfected the shaggy foot. So I thought you should probably smoke the shaggy foot if it's got this great story behind it.
Yeah. Well, some shaggy foots work. Like I think there's
the Willie is a shaggy foot.
The Tobacco Special, there's some of those with shaggy foots, and those smoke fine, but they're a real short kind of shaggy foot.
Yeah, this shaggy foot, no lie, was about that long.
Seriously, it's long. It is long.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
You know,
Exactly.
we haven't done a That's What She Said in about 4 episodes. I was jonesing for That's What She Said.
So back to the fire stories, because I got distracted. So,
You can all thank me.
so
I did my best.
Yeah, so I was a kid. And
Did you notice how I worked in me getting caught on fire before you got to yours?
yeah, so
Okay.
I liked fire, and I like to set fires. And I was had a friend of mine that wanted to play, and he's like, "Hey, let's go play, let's go play." I'm like, "Okay, but I gotta poop." So I was like, "Wait till I'm done pooping, and then we'll go
TMI.
play." Yeah, well, that's the story. It's the story.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in the bathroom and I'm pooping. And,
So it's not gratuitous nudity or gratuitous.
well, no, I'm not gonna
bathroom
talk
stuff.
about my balls or anything, but so I was
Well,
in
you
the
know how in movies have gratuitous nudity. This is
well, yeah,
gratuitous.
this is in relation to the
Potty
pooping
humor.
and fire story.
Okay.
So I'm sitting on the can, pooping, and I decided, hey, there's matches in here because my dad lights matches when he poops and gets the smell out. So I'm going to take toilet paper, I'm going to roll it up in a ball, I'm going to throw it on the carpet, the shag carpet in front of me, and I'm going to throw matches at it and see if I can set it on fire. I thought this was a good idea. So I'm sitting there doing this. All of a sudden it catches on fire. My friend's like knocking on the window of the bathroom. Hey, are you going to come play or what? I'm like, dude, I'm busy. I'm pooping. Can you give me a couple minutes? He's like, well, come on, let's go play. And I'm sitting there talking to him back and forth. In the meantime, there's a fire in front of me because of this toilet paper that's on fire. That's now a raging, roaring fire. And I'm sitting there barefoot trying to put it out, trying to, in the middle of trying to also not poop on myself.
And there's methane in the air.
Yeah,
From the,
exactly.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so I picked it up and threw it in the shower, and proceeded to put it out that way. And then I decided it would be a good
so
idea.
you ruined a rug?
So I ruined a rug, and I decided it was a good idea to cut pieces off other rugs and glue it onto that rug, so my parents couldn't tell that I did that because I
Genius.
thought it looked good enough.
Kind of like your cigar.
Yeah, and then I went and played. And, of course, in the middle of playing, we didn't play far enough away from the house, I guess. I got the Brandon
No middle name, just a Brandon?
J.
Oh, you
Brandon
did?
J.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my fire. That's one of my fire stories.
And I think you should save the next story for some other time.
I think I've already told the other one. I don't know.
I have a similar story, but it has nothing to do with fire, but it has to do with just kids being stupid and destroying stuff. It was during Christmas break. You get 2 weeks off for school.
And that's the end of our mini-sode.
Thank you very much. And it had snowed, and there's nothing better than going out when you're a kid and playing football in the snow. I mean, that's just a blast.
That's awesome.
And this was in '86 when the Cowboys had Tony Dorsett and Herschel Walker, when we thought that was going to work, and it didn't. So my brother was really fast, so he was going to be Tony Dorsett, and I was bigger, so I was going to be Herschel Walker. And so we're playing football, and there's these two neighbors, their houses backed up to each other, so their side yards, and their corner lots were huge. Huge, still not as big as your backyard.
My backyard's gigantic.
Yeah. But it was big, almost, probably
Like,
about two-thirds the size, about two-thirds of the size of your backyard. So we had a lot of room to play football here.
Okay.
Well, none of us were getting any traction. So we all decided to go in and all put on our cleats. And we played football for hours upon hours. The snow melted. Those 2 yards were destroyed. They had no grass, all mud piles, all mud everything. And well, I was old. I was 17 when I was playing around 14 and 15-year-olds. So who gets blamed for it? The owner of those two houses come over to my dad's house, my mom and dad's house, and said that I started this and I instigated it, and that they should pay for their yards.
Yeah, you do so many stupid things when you're a kid, man.
They didn't pay for the yards. They were like, there are other kids there. Sue us if you want. Blah blah blah. But I got my ass beat. Destroyed 2 people's yards just because I couldn't get enough traction playing football. I needed to wear cleats.
Yeah.
And we should all wear cleats.
We lived in an apartment complex in Corpus Christi that was a huge apartment complex. And it was right when they were starting to do that stupid crap where it's like adults only apartment complex and family apartment complex.
Pre-HUD fair housing days.
So at this apartment complex, they decided that they had changed the rules and kids were not allowed in the pool. So there was a bunch of kids in this apartment complex. So I was out there, like, we were trying to go to the pool, and they're like, no, kids can't come in here, and there's, like, lifeguards and stuff. We're like, what? So I was like, well, this is BS, guys. We're going to wait till, after hours when the lifeguard's gone. We're going to go in that pool. So we tried to go in the pool after hours, got busted. Somebody's like, no, you guys can't be in here. So a couple weeks later, they're, like, laying new grass and everything, and I found these pallets of grass, like, over by the pool, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm mad about this, so I'm going to take these pallets of grass. I'm going to throw them in the pool. So I started with me doing it, And then a bunch of kids jumped in. So we like threw like literally 30, 40 pallets of grass into this pool and ran off. You know, of course we got caught. And
oh my God.
yeah, so cops came to our house. And my dad's like, "They're gonna take you to jail." I'm like, "No." It was like middle school.
But you showed them.
I showed them.
Uh-huh.
Now nobody's gonna swim in that pool.
We lived in this property, and on Saturdays, it was Saturdays and Sundays because it had water volleyball and it had sand volleyball. And while you're waiting for your turn to play sand volleyball, you'd go play water volleyball and back and forth. And apparently, somebody didn't allow somebody to play in the water volleyball, and the guy got pissed. Some Saturday night. So that Sunday, we all get up, all grab our beer, we all go out to play volleyball. Can't play volleyball in the pool because somebody dumped 40 quarts of motor oil in the pool to ruin the freaking pool. That pool was closed the rest of the summer.
That sucks.
So now you can only play sand volleyball, and there were so many people playing it. You can only get a game or two in, and man, we used to play 8, 9, 10 games a day.
Yeah.
Jerk. It was probably you. You probably
was me. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't throw pallets of grass
Or
or
motor
motor
oil.
oil in apartment swimming pools.
Unless they tell you can't swim.
And then go for it. Do it every time. This is so tasty.
It is very tasty.
I honestly think, and it's easy to say this because I did know. Honestly, think if you had disbanded this and just gave it to me, within 2 guesses I could have picked it. Viaje.
Yeah. I really haven't smoked enough Viaje. I had some issues with some of the ones
It
I got.
reminds me of that double torpedo Oro and Plantino that they had.
That's a good cigar, yeah. I mean, I've had my ups and downs with Viaje. I've had some where it was just, construction issues, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I think some of them smoke. They send it out very wet, so they need
They
some
do,
time
and that's
to dry.
why we had to drop Viaje because they were just sending us stuff that we didn't order. But that was part of the plan. I mean, it was the agreement. If you want the special stuff,
You gotta
we
get the
just
other
send
stuff.
it to you. We just send it to you when we send it to you.
Yeah.
And you don't get to pick and choose what you get. This is what you get. And while we liked it, nobody else was buying it, so you saw how much extra stock we had. No, we gave it to you for freaking dirt cheap.
Yep. And I smoked it up, and it was yummy.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep. It was delicious. So they make some great. They get some,
That
some
Reserva,
great tasting
the
cigars.
Oro and the Platinos were great. Their Candela's not bad, and I'm not a big Candela guy.
Yeah.
The Skull and Bones, the Weapons of Mass Destruction, all that
Those
stuff. Good
ass
stuff.
kickers.
Yeah, great stuff.
Those are some of the strongest cigars I've smoked to date. Is those cigars, and I think
we still have some Skull and Bones, so if someone wants to call and bribe me, I mean, pay us, we might let go of a couple of those.
how would they do that?
They would call 972-761-9903. And or they could go on PayPal, mrb@bartech.net.
These Skull and Bones you guys have are from like 2009 or something.
2009, yeah.
They're back there. Yeah, they're old. They had the original.
You
had the original mysteries, the ones with the glow in the dark band.
We had the
and stuff,
mystery.
yeah.
We had the mystery. We had the
those
WMT.
Are smoking good now, man.
Yeah. And at one point, because the way the rep pitched it to us, now he could have been full of shit, but I doubt it. We'd known the rep a long time. When Viaje was just starting, he was like, he chose our store to be a store that would sell Viaje in a certain radius. And so we felt, great, sure, we'll sign it. And people were buying it like crazy. And then it stopped. Boom. Stopped dead cold. Everyone wanted Liga. It was right when the Liga shortage happened, and everyone wanted Liga. And we couldn't get Liga at the time because nobody could get Liga because of the shortage. And our Viaje people never came back, although you've sent us some people that have been excited that and other shop owners have come in and they've seen that we still have that and go, wow, you guys still have some of that stuff. Interesting.
Yeah, you got some neat stuff in the humidor over there. Hidden away, tucked away in the secret spots.
We had a customer come in and I could tell just by what he was looking at that he was an internet knowledgeable forum guy that looks for the trendy stuff. And he came in and he was looking at this and I said, we've got Liga number 9s. I like 9. Do Dirty Rats or Feral Pigs? Yep, got them both. Really? And I've got UF13. Really? And I've got Viaje Reserva Platina. Really? I've got the weapons of mass destruction. I'm going to spend like $200.
Mhm.
That's a good customer. And we failed to mention, and it's going to be too late by the time you hear it, but we're going to have a La Polina event next week.
Ah,
And that's going to be fun.
Yep. It was
By the time you hear
it
this,
was already
Bill,
fun.
Yeah,
It was a
by the
blast.
time you heard it, it was so much fun.
It was a blast. I smoked a Kill Bill,
I'm sure.
and it was
I'm
awesome.
sure you did, did.
Yeah.
And I might smoke 2. Or might have smoked 2. I can't remember now. How many did I smoke?
I still want to smoke a Goldie. I know you guys don't have those.
And they're done.
What?
I just asked Matt, you can order Goldies. He said, Goldie's done.
Goldie's done. They are hard to get.
No, I mean, he can't order them. He said he'd like to order 10 more boxes. He can't.
Did he get a box?
He got a couple, but remember he gave them to the Ezra Zion dude.
He didn't give them. He sold them.
I know.
But so
That's
he gave
still the same as
one
Kimmy.
box, though, right?
And
So
we've
he still
got one
has-
left. We only got 2 boxes.
But you have one box left, so I can still get one.
But not at the event, because we'll have to pay.
I'll pay for it. I don't care. I just want to try one.
Yeah, I do too.
At cost.
But even on our discount, it's still take out a bank loan.
Mhm.
And we can put it on your Best Buy card.
There you go. Yeah.
So what are you getting on the cigar?
Delicious yumminess is what I'm
Uh-huh.
getting. And I'm getting ready to get to the patch, so we'll see if that changes on me.
Okay.
Right now it's I had some
It's leather, it's spice, it's
had a little bit of a floral thing at the beginning, but yeah, mostly it's leather and spice and just
And,
tasty deliciousness.
something else. Tamarind. Oh, wait, no, that was another episode. I'm sorry. This is, we were listening to that episode today and busting each other's balls.
It's meaty though. It's very meaty.
meaty.
To me, it's meaty. I get a meaty like kind
Yeah,
of grizzled meat.
It's just Racy's Cubanos is what this is. This is great.
Very peppery on the retrohale. I'm not really getting any like coffee or cocoa
Mm-mm.
on it yet.
But
You?
yeah, leather, spice, hint of floral. Just got that wonderful aftertaste that I look for in a cigar.
Yeah, the mouthfeel on it's really good. I mean,
Mhm.
it stays there. It kind of lingers in the mouth.
And it
Gives
mixes
you
well
that.
with this crappy bourbon that we're drinking.
Yep.
I didn't want to say what bourbon we were drinking, but Brandon wanted to. Somebody told me this was not bad and it's cheap, and I thought I would try it. We all know that Evan Williams, the Black Label bottle, is...
That's what we're drinking, Evan Williams.
Hang on. The Black Label Evan Williams is... What the hell did you just do?
Just spit it out. It's Evan Williams.
You're
I'm just
dumbass.
kidding.
So anyway, but I was making fun of Evan Williams Black, and one guy was like, "You ever had the green?" I'm like, "That's even low end Evan Williams." He said, "No, drink it. You can drink it straight. It's very smooth. It's very mild, but it just has that bourbon flavor, and you can get it for like $10 a fifth." I'm like, "Well, it's worth $10 a fifth to try it." So Brandon and I are trying it, and
Not bad. It's very smooth.
it's smoother than that Jim Beam crap we were
Hey, it
drinking.
wasn't crap.
It wasn't crap.
good.
It just hurt.
It just hurt. Yeah, it's 90 proof. What do you expect?
And
It's
I'm
going
a
to kick your ass.
I'm a burp. Maker's Mark is 90 proof.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Go look at the bottle.
Bullshit.
Maker's Mark is
I
90
call
proof. Go
bullshit.
look.
Yeah,
Go look.
Maker's Mark 40. Was it? What they say they were going to? They were going to knock. They were going to cut it.
Yeah, they were
to
going to
make
cut it to like 84, and
I
people
think
got
it's probably
pissed.
84.
No, it's 90. Go look at the bottle, my friend. You can do a tour of the lounge. You can go show the Maker's Mark bottle being 90 proof.
If it's 90, that's fine. Whatever.
But anyway,
I look like
No, 'cause I had a
tree
friend-
going out of my head.
because I had a friend that
Yeah, I got a hair.
it's a
It's
hairdress.
awesome.
It's like you're Native American. You got the headdress thing
Right,
going
yeah.
on there.
Or I'm
But
the guy from the Mars. What's that? That stupid show, the Aliens show with the guy who's like got the crazy hair.
Leave it to Beaver.
No, yeah, leave it to Beaver.
But anyway, this is very smooth, and it does taste pretty good.
You know what I've noticed though, the difference between like cheap and better alcohol
Mhm.
is that this could be smooth, but you're going to get drunk and
Yeah,
It's gonna hurt the
it would
next
probably
day.
haunt you the next morning.
it's going to hurt you the next day.
But
Yeah.
this is only the first one we've had, and we're going to be fine.
I think we're fine. We're going to have like 2 more before we.
Well, no, we're going to go back to that one too.
No, we're not. We're
We're going to go
do
one
this.
of each. One
No,
of each.
I've already done 2 of the other ones. We're going to do another one of this, and then we're going to go back to that.
But nevertheless, we're still going back to that one.
Eventually.
That's
yeah.
my night-night medicine.
I know
man.
that's your night-night medicine, but this is my night-night medicine. So.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but I need more night-night medicine.
you don't know these things. I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight because Daddy snores loud when he drinks. I don't actually mind that though because I get to like explore the space. Yeah, it's a futon, so I get to be like. "Ah."
Yes, I've slept on that futon.
Yes, you did. I put you on that futon.
The night of our infamous
yeah, our
episode 34.
2 episodes. Yeah.
The one where I maimed my leg for life.
Yes, you did. Dumbass.
Okay, I've watched sports my entire life, and I'm a sports nut. And I ramp it back on this because Brandon isn't crazy about sports, and I respect that. He's a dumbass, but I still respect it. But I've always heard about the infamous high ankle sprain. And, you've seen people come back 2 weeks after the high ankle sprain.
They get really high, and then they sprain their ankle.
Which is what I did. But that's still not why they call it that.
Yeah.
No, and I've seen, wide receivers get it mostly in the NFL. And, you hear the high ankle sprain, it's like, oh, no. Because, that could be 2 weeks, or it could be they miss the season.
Career ender.
Well, not necessarily career ending. It does come back. And I've gotten strength back in the ankle. But, yes, I have a high ankle sprain, and I'm just now able to lift my foot about that much. And it's been 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, so
now,
if you're going to drink all day in Mexico smoking Cuban cigars, drink water in between, because that's what happened. I dehydrated myself. I had no blood circulation in my foot, and I fell on my face like 5 times that day. And I wished it could have been because I was drunk. I'd just be walking, everything be fine, blah, 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 then no circulation in the foot, face front, boom.
Yeah, we drank a lot that day. I'm about to get to the patch, so we'll see if it changes on me.
Yeah, I'm going to take off my band now that it's warm enough. I don't like bands on my cigars. If you've noticed this, I take the band off almost before I cut,
away.
Except for when we're doing a review.
I tend to let them get warmed up a little bit because I like to keep the bands. I put them in my cigar journal from Warp Cigars, which is a great cigar journal.
Nice plug.
Yeah, nice plug, right?
Well, I learned the hard way because the only time I used to smoke cigars was when people would come over. And I'd leave my cigar sitting somewhere, and then next thing I know, someone's smoking it. And then Matt's smoked my cigar a few times too, so that's why I take my bands off, so I know which one is my cigar. I don't like guide germs on my cigar.
Yeah, I can see that.
I used to pass around, let my wife and her girlfriends smoke my cigars, and I'd go right back at it.
And I've done it before too, but it's like, I don't want to try this.
I don't want guys doing it,
Yeah, I do that unless they go, well, I want to try it. And then I'm like, no.
No, thank you.
Put some lip condoms on, and then you can try it.
That happened the other day, and it's the first time it happened in a while. Because Matt took his band off, too. Mm-hmm. But here's the difference. I was smoking a Petit Corona. He was smoking a Toro, so the size should have told him. And I picked up my cigar, and I put it in there. And I don't wet lip near as much. I mean, you can tell, my cigar is pretty dry. It's pretty dry.
It's pretty dry.
I don't wet lip as much.
I wet lip. Look at that.
And Matt wet lips. And I put it in there, and I went, oh, I got slobber all over my lips.
It's like dripping down. It's like dripping off his chin.
So for the whole next week, Matt's like, "Is that your cigar?"
Matt's like, "We just kissed."
I love him as a friend. He's definitely in the friend zone. God. But,
yeah. So I don't know. They need to make cigar condoms. Oh, interesting story.
Is this going to be a mini-sode?
It's going to be a long episode because we've got, a whole lot of cigars.
This is episode 37 that we just haven't announced.
37.
36.5.
36.5. Yeah, we can do 36.5 and make it a full episode. Who cares?
Yeah, because we don't have an Esteban Cruz creature feature to do or anything like that.
No, we're just bullshitting and talking stuff.
Although we could talk the internship. Oh, wait, we already did that. Never mind.
That's kind of a creature feature, isn't it?
Vince Vaughn's pretty tall. They make fun of his height.
And he played Norman Bates.
He did. They make fun of his height a lot in the internship. He wrote that, so he's being smart. He does our thing that we're talking about.
Yep, he will keep working.
Your career's starting to wane a little bit. Write your own projects.
Yep.
He wrote Couples Retreat. That did roll well. He wrote...
that was fun. I liked that.
I thought it was funny, too. Owen Wilson, of course, is always written, so he'll always have work. We talk about Owen a lot because he's a Dallas guy. I'm Luke Wilson's a Dallas guy, and I like Luke better than Owen. I think you probably do too.
I do too, yeah.
But I do like and respect Owen.
I think Luke is less of a one-trick pony than Owen is.
I think he's a better actor,
yeah.
Or better. He picks better stories at least.
But I think Owen has depth. He just hasn't really shown it yet. I think he could probably pull out a really good dramatic performance. It just has to be 10 years from now when Quentin Tarantino's like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?" I think
there's a movie of his you need to see.
I think Owen might do it.
Still kind of plays Owen Wilson. But he's Owen Wilson, the murderer. Oh. It's called Minus Man.
I have never heard of that.
And it's got a decent Brian Cox,
like
Mercedes Rule.
The original Hannibal Lecter.
The original Hannibal Lecter. Sheryl Crow's in it.
Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow. Well, they were dating at the time. So.
Eric Clapton in it too.
Why would Eric Clapton come up when I mentioned Sheryl Crow?
Because she was married to him or something, wasn't she?
No.
I thought they
Lance
were.
Armstrong. She dated Owen Wilson.
I thought she was married to Eric Clapton.
No.
Am I getting my guitar players mixed up?
Yeah, she was married to maybe she was married to a guitar guy, but I know she dated Owen Wilson. I know she was.
I'm looking that shit up.
With Lance Armstrong for a while.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a great movie, and he plays this very amiable guy that people love and respect and trust in their lives, but he just also likes to kill people.
I had never heard of it.
It's a good movie. I think I've got it. I'll get you a copy of it.
Surprised I haven't heard of that.
But the thing about Owen Wilson is he started as a writer.
Yeah.
So he's written some great stuff. Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, awesome. What's the one with Gene Hackman? The Family.
Oh, Royal
Tenenbaums. Funny movie. Funny movie. But anyway, I forgot what I said. No, anyway, so we think Luke's probably the better actor, picks better projects, but Owen has it in him to write a good movie. And they're from Dallas, so I like to plug people from Dallas. That's not what I meant. I like to promote people from Dallas.
Eric Clapton and Sheryl Crow dated for a brief time? A brief time.
Wow. It must have been a really brief time, but you remembered it.
Eric Clapton gave Sheryl Crow the beef back in 1996, but they kept their relationship a secret.
Okay, and I wasn't let in on it. Apparently you were. So apparently you're closer to Eric Clapton than I am.
Apparently.
But she dated Owen Wilson, Lance Armstrong.
That bit's been around.
She has been.
And man, talk about earwig songs. You know, those songs that like get in your ear and you just can't stop thinking about them. When all you want to do, that song came out the summer that I was working for Best Buy, and I was over in California opening stores, and that song was on the radio constantly. And I was like, the first time I heard it, I'm like, no, this song blows. This is horrible pop drivel, blah. And by the end of that trip, I was like fucking singing it in my head and shit on the airplane and stuff. And I'm sitting there humming it
the same way.
And some girl on the airplane like sitting next to me like, I love that song. I'm like, what song? She's like, Sheryl Crow, all you want to do? I was like, ah. I'm like, God, I was humming that song. Damn it.
She might be the worst live singer I've ever heard. You ever seen her live? On video. I've never gone to a concert.
Yeah.
Like on TV or something. She doesn't have a great voice. But
good,
I had the same...
Decent guitar player.
Yeah, I had the same situation. VH1 was playing music videos at the time. MTV had long since quit doing that. But VH1 had videos. And I was with a friend, really hot friend, who liked to play for both teams. And
nice.
Which is important. Which is important to the
Was
story.
this a dude or a girl?
This was a girl.
Cool.
This isn't gratuitous bisexualness. This is pertinent to the story. So anyway, so we've gone out, hang out, and come back in. I turned on the TV. It was on VH1, and that song came on. I went, "Oh God, I hate this song. This is all I want to do." And she's like, "I kind of like it. Plus, she's kind of hot." I'm like, "I don't think she's all that hot." "Do you like this song?" She says, "Yeah." I listened to it. Okay. Well, the next day I was at work. We had the top 40 radio on. Next thing, I probably heard it like 4 times that day, and I guess I get what she's getting at. And like 3 weeks later, I would be walking around going,
lyrically, it's a decent song. I mean, she actually tells a story, and I like songwriters who don't just sing a song that's about nothing.
Right, they tell a story.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
But, when they tell a story...
like that piece.
Yeah, exactly. It's a decent song. And I thought it was decent storytelling. It was a catchy song, so yeah. Sheryl Crow, props for all I want to do is have some fun. But
and she did one other that was very similar, that Soak Up the Sun song.
Yeah.
Very similar to All I Want to Do, but other than that, oh my God. And Mac's wife loved her, and she'd sing that My Favorite Mistake song or something all the time. I was like, oh, God, quit.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little update here because I'm at the second third, and it just kicked into the Gurkha wrapper because I did fix this with the Gurkha wrapper. Now, mind you, the Gurkha wrapper was the Red Witch, which is a pretty highly rated Gurkha.
It's a decent smoke.
Decent. It's got good reviews. It's got like a 90 Cigar Aficionado. It's gotten a little bitter, but because of the extra wrapper, it's also got a different note. So I'm getting more of a cocoa now because of the Red Witch attached wrapper.
I'm still not getting cocoa, but you know what? It's blending nicely with this silly Evan Williams cream.
Well, you're not going to get cocoa because I have super special wrapper on this section of the cigar that you don't have.
You're
So,
always so much more special.
While I lost, I also won.
So in other words, you broke even. So it's like kissing your sister.
What?
You never heard that?
Breaking even.
You ever heard that a tie is like kissing your sister? You said you won and you lost. That means you're 1-1. That means you're even. You're
like
right in the middle.
Tongue kiss your sister or just kiss your sister?
They always said kiss your sister, but I always thought it meant tongue.
No, this
I don't
is
have a
better
sister,
than
so I
tongue
could care
kissing your
less.
sister. I don't have a sister either, but
I was growing up, and every guy our age or older thought the same thing.
oh, remember
If I were Greg Brady, I would have been boning Marcia.
Okay, so
They weren't related.
And this is okay. Remember, I told you that story earlier about the friend of mine that
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
sister that I ended up banging.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't his sister; it was his stepsister.
Mm.
And like we all, and this is after I. You guys don't understand this. This is like
Wow, you were going so inside here.
insider information by Brandon Luna.
God.
So back in the '90s, I banged one of my friend's half sister.
Half or step?
Stepsister.
Okay.
Stepsister. Okay. And I went to a party later, and we all got drunk, and she got hot because she was kind of fat, and then she got skinny, and she was hot.
You compared her to Monica on Friends.
Yes, Monica
Was fat at one point.
and then she was cute when she was chubby, but she was hot when she was like skinny. And I was banging her at that time, and we all were at this party, and we were like having a good old
banging
time.
stories, really?
What? Yeah, I'm
Okay,
telling
good.
banging stories.
Okay.
And she comes to me, she's like, "You got to save me." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "He's totally hitting on me." I'm like, "Who?" She's like, "My brother." I'm like, "That's creepy." I was like,
That's why he was pissed at you for doing his
That's
sister.
why he was pissed off at me. But at the same time, I'm like, well, he's not really your brother. I'm like, but still. She's like, is that reason enough for me? I'm like, no, let's go fuck. And we did.
No, but
End of story.
if I were Greg Brady, I'd have been banging Marcia.
Yep.
Or at
And if
least
you
try
watch
it.
the Triple X version called Not the Brady Bunch, you can see
Well,
Greg
remember
bang.
remember in the 90s they did the Brady Bunch movie,
Mhm.
and then they did the sequel. And the first one was funny. I liked the first
I
one.
liked
The
the first
second
one, too,
was
yeah.
terrible.
It was.
But they did play up that angle in the second one that Greg had this major crush on Marcia, and I thought, finally, that's what I wanted to see.
Yep.
And that chick, Ben Stiller's wife, Christine Taylor,
She
hot. Looked so much like Marcia Brady.
She
It was
really
incredible.
did. And she's hilarious, though.
She's
I
a
mean,
great actress.
That's a
Very
great
funny.
couple right there. She's funny, a funny lady, and she's hot. So
Very
good
hot.
job, Ben Stiller.
She said a line in a movie that I pray that every woman I meet that's hot will say to me at one point. In The Wedding Singer, remember where she's hitting on Adam Sandler,
Mhm.
and they go on a date. She says, "I just want you to know, if we go inside, you're gonna get laid." Yes.
Every man wants to hear that during a date. So, ladies, if you are listening to the Calypso Cigar
And you want to get
podcast,
cool guys that smoke cigars and drink whiskey to have sex with you?
this guy,
That's all
he's
you gotta
single.
say. That's all you gotta say.
He's a little white and kind of pinky.
I can get in the sun, and in 3 days, I'll be as dark as you. Maybe not as dark, because you are, weird.
I'm pretty dark. I'm Hispanic and Native American and Jewish. I'm like the Heinz 57 of people.
I am too. I got English, Scottish, Choctaw.
I have some Irish in me too.
My brother thinks we're Irish. We've researched it. We're not, but he still
My
thinks
mom,
we are.
My mom has Irish on her side, so it's like I'm Irish, so I want to drink, but I'm Native American, so I can't hold my liquor. So it's like a constant fight between the two.
You can't handle the fire water.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so we're Scott English, and my brother...
Wow, look at the smoke
I know.
coming off that. That's the extra wrapper
I've got
right there.
billowing from
It's
both
a
ends.
serious billowing smoke. That's probably because of the second wrapper. That I
No,
fixed
because
for
mine's
you.
going from both ends.
Okay, well,
But, and if people go back and watch the video, because I know people probably do that, they probably go down and break down every moment.
because
Or
it's
video.
important, and this is
Yeah.
history.
And I agree. And
You
there
two-
was a point where you were in the middle of a story, and I was holding my cigar up so that you could see the freaking
billowy.
noise.
YouTube is history. This is next generation's history. They're not going to look at books.
Yeah, we don't have
They're not gonna-
time capsules.
This
our
is
time
history.
capsule.
You will go on YouTube when the world breaks down and zombies are everywhere. YouTube will still be
It's gonna happen.
because Al Gore will not let the internet go down. He has the power.
So the government's not going to shut down and cut off the
Well,
internet.
the government will, but Al Gore's like, I made the internet. I have all
Is
the
he going
servers.
to still be alive?
He'll be alive. He's never going to die. He'll be in a jar head like in Futurama.
Or he'll do the Walt Disney thing and have himself frozen, and then they'll thaw him out.
Yep. He'll be the 99th president. Meh. Oh well. Enough politics. Let's talk about boobs.
I like boobs.
Boobs are great. Sofia Vergara from Modern Family.
See, I'm curious about her.
Those boobs are nice. What? What are you curious about? Her boobs?
One, real or fake? I'm real
No,
or fake?
they're real and they're awesome.
She's not Terry Hatcher from Seinfeld.
Dude, they're awesome.
Have you seen him? Because I've tried to find
No,
pictures of her.
there's video. She was a model before she ever became
And I'm also
famous.
curious as what she looks like without makeup. I bet she has clown face. I bet she has clown face.
No.
People back me up.
She has
clown
she
face.
has some eyebrow issues. Like she's got some seriously like her eyebrows are like if you don't like this is the visualization here is I'm doing my fingers like in wigglies. She's got some huge eyebrows. It's almost seriously a monobrow. It's like it's
monobrow bitten in half.
No, it's like 2 hairs away from a monobrow. She's got some serious brows, but you just do some plucking and she's fucking gorgeous. She's got enormous boobs and they're real, and she's got a great ass, which is usually you don't get. It's usually one or the other. But Gaba's like, guess what? Bam, both. You get both. And she's funny.
She is funny. I'll give her that.
So if you want to make a movie about Charo, that's the chick you get to play Charo. There has to be a Charo biography.
Hasn't she always been a B-level celebrity?
But there should be. And Charo still looks badass. She still looks
good.
Looking.
She's not bad looking.
And
but she's still a B-level celebrity, though.
Well,
She's ever been a
Love Boat. End of story.
Naked Gun 33 1/3. She looked good in that too.
She did.
But okay, one last thing on Sofia Vergara. Eddie Munster. She's got Eddie Munster eyebrow shit going on.
Dude, she's hot. You're crazy. Sofia Vergara.
I said she's hot, but I think she's fake hot.
She's hot. She's just
Dude,
hot.
okay, I'm not going to mention her name because I'm tired of mentioning her name. But the chick on Wipeout, very natural. I said I'm not mentioning her name.
Jill Goodacre.
No,
that's a different chick.
No.
I'm in a vestibule with Jill Goodacre.
Do you like some gum? No, I'm good. Why would I say that?
Gum would be perfection.
That gum would be perfection.
Sorry, Friends reference.
Yeah, Friends nerds. But anyway, natural beauty.
Yes.
Natural beauty.
I totally agree.
Jennifer Aniston, natural beauty.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, natural beauty.
Jennifer Aniston, natural beauty minus the nose. She had some work done.
But you know what? That kind of makes her look good, though. Because it wasn't a nose job. It was a deviated septum. It was a medical issue. She had to get her nose job.
Jennifer Aniston, I didn't like her. When she was on Friends, I didn't like her because she was just that bitchy college, that bitchy high school cheerleader.
But I've seen her without makeup, and she's pretty.
No, but she is. But like outside of Friends, and as Friends progressed, I liked her more. Jennifer Aniston is a hot chick, and she looks great now. If you haven't seen Meet the
We're the Millers or
Flops,
Horrible Bosses, and
she looks damn good, and she's aged really well. And that's the thing with Hollywood. Most women don't age well in Hollywood, and she's aged well.
And I'll argue, because I can do point and counterpoint, I'll argue that Sofia Vergara looks better now than she did 10 years ago. I just still don't know if she's real. That's the problem. I want to know if she's real. Aniston, Wipeout chick, those girls look real. There's another, Jennifer Love Hewitt looks great.
And now I've totally forgotten the Wipeout chick's name because you're not saying her name. What's her name?
I'm not saying it. I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of hearing it. She needs to start paying me for saying her name.
What is her name? Say it.
Jill Wagner.
Jill Wagner.
My buddy.
Jill Wagner is hot. If you don't know who Jill Wagner is, watch Wipeout and watch the movie that we've recommended so many times, Splinter.
No makeup in Splinter.
And she looks great, and she acts very naturally. She's a natural actress. If I could ever write and produce and direct a movie, she would be in it because she's fantastic.
Agreed.
She's hot. She's got the right personality.
She's got next door neighbor look, but yet next door neighbor look that you still go, oh my god. That makes any sense, you know.
And she's hilarious on Wipeout.
Another thing that people might not know about her, here I wasn't even going to mention her name. We're going to go on. She was the Mercury chick. You guys remember the Mercury chick in the late aughts?
Yep.
That was Jill Wagner. Matt How old is she? Up here. She's 34.
She looks damn good for 34.
Yeah, she.
Because usually 34 is like.
This is what's the chick from Grey's Anatomy, Kate Walsh or something? She was doing Ford commercials and she looked hot. And Jill Wagner was doing Mercury commercials and she looked hot. And then one day, Matt and I were sitting here and this Kate Walsh commercial comes on and Matt goes, "Oh my god, I love this chick." And she gets out of the car and goes, "Huh, she's hot. She's not the chick I was thinking about." And I go, "Mercury chick?" That's who it is. I'm like, I agree, man. I probably like Mercury chick better than Ford chick or whatever it was. I don't remember what Kate Walsh endorsed. But anyway, that's who she is. And yes, we would love to write something for Jill Wagner.
But seriously, I would be cool with chilling with her
Yeah.
and drinking some beers and hanging out. And I think she'd
cool.
be just. She seems like, Hollywood people. You have the two kinds of Hollywood people. Hollywood people who you think are cool, but then you find out they're kind of assholes. And then Hollywood people who you think are cool and they're really cool.
Yeah.
And I think she would be one of the really cool ones.
I mean, like I said, she retweeted me. I mean, she retweets everybody. She comments on everybody. So she's cool.
Yeah.
And unlike Aniston, who's too good to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm too good for Twitter.
Yeah. And cigar industry. Let's talk about cigar industry. There's people in the cigar industry who are too good. And there's people in the cigar industry who
That are
awesome.
Jose Blanco, who replies to people. He's
awesome.
always there.
That dude is so entrenched in social media, and he knows what is important to keep in the eye of the people who love your shit. And I mean, that guy, he can't fail. I mean, he can put out a cigar that's subpar, and people will still buy it because he's Jose Blanco. He won't do it because he puts out awesome shit. But he just posted on Facebook, "Hey guys, next year I'm putting something together. I'm going to put it out, and I really hope you guys buy it." And I posted it like, "Dude, that's going to be my top 10. I guarantee it."
I'll be there.
He did such great work with La Aurora. He did great work with Hoyt de Nicaragua. That dude, not only does he do great work as a blender, he's just an awesome dude.
No.
And you want to support those people. You have to support those people because there's so few people like that are genuine.
I tweeted the night we found out about his retirement, or whatever, lack of getting a contract or whatever. And on Twitter, the way, like if you wanted to tweet me, you would put @RandyRankin43, and I would see it because therefore you addressed me.
Yeah.
All I did it from the show standpoint. I didn't do it from us. I just from the Calypso, because I'm the one that posts the stuff for us on Twitter for the show. All I did was I put, "I wish Jose Blanco well in his future endeavors." I didn't put @Jose Blanco, so it didn't trigger him. Somehow he saw it anyway and replied, "Thank you very much," blah, blah, blah. It was really cool. Wow. And then I followed him individually, and within 5 minutes, he was following me back.
Yep.
I mean, he went instantly right on there and followed me.
Yep. And I mean, I interviewed the guy, I was probably one of like 5 people that interviewed him at the Cats event in San Antonio like 6 months ago, right?
6 months ago,
And I was like, hey, and when I heard he was leaving Hoyt de Nicaragua doing his own thing, I'm like, hey man, I loved interviewing you, it was great, and I'm sure whatever you're going to do next is going to be awesome. And he's like, I remember you at the Cats event, that's awesome, I can't wait to talk to you again. I'm like, what? It was
that's
just,
cool shit. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
That's
right there.
the kind of celebrity I like to follow, and I like to follow people that I think would be somebody you not necessarily be friends with, but that if you met them, they'd remember you, and that's what I want.
Yep.
Dr. Cuenca, another guy from Hoyt de Nicaragua. He brought in, I might have told this one, I know I told you, but I don't know if I said it on here, but Hoyt de Nicaragua was going to do a coffee at one point, so he knew about Matt, he didn't know about me. And he brought in some cigars, and he brought in a 5-pound bag of Hoyt de Nicaragua coffee.
Nice.
For Matt. And he gives it to Matt, and Matt's like, oh, thank you, and stuff. And then I come in, and Matt's like introducing me, and he gives me a couple of cigars, and he says, don't worry, my friend, I'll take care of you. I didn't know what that meant. He'd already given me a couple of cigars. So I said, thank you, sir, I appreciate that. Well, he visited with Matt. Matt placed an order and everything. They go out in the car, and I see them back out of the parking space, and they're getting ready to leave the parking lot. All of a sudden, the car stops. Cuenca gets out of the car, goes to the trunk, opens the trunk, and brings me a 5-pound bag of coffee. He says, I told you I wouldn't forget you, my friend. Cool dude.
Nice.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
I was expecting he pulled out a machine gun. He's like,
said he was a nice guy. Come on, I didn't say he was Scarface.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Jeez.
That's cool. That's way cool.
Yeah, I mean, he remembered as he's getting ready to leave, oh, wait, I told that man I would get him some coffee.
How was the coffee?
Fucking great.
Was it beans or was it ground?
It was beans, and so I don't have a grinder, so Matt bought a grinder for the store, which has since blown the coop. It's burned out. But, yeah.
This is one thing I found out about cigar people. It's like most cigar smokers are very into not only cigars, but just
their whole palate is just...
Well, it's all about the palate. It's all about the food that they eat, the coffee they drink, the tea they drink. It's
the
like
bourbon they drink.
Yeah, it's all related. And so a lot of these cigar smokers are way into like they get their own beans raw and they roast their own beans and they grind their own beans and they're like I have no freaking concept how to do that. I know a lot of these guys do, and that's awesome. I mean, you're talking Renaissance men. Most cigar people who are really into cigars are Renaissance people. They're just like all about
they are
taking it to the next level of flavor. And And if you don't understand cigars, I feel bad for you because there's so much flavor involved in these that it's not something you develop and it's something that you earn. But once you get there, wow. I mean, cigarettes are shit compared to this.
Yeah.
Pipe tobacco probably has its place. I don't get it, but a lot of people do. But to me, wow. I mean, you get for it to change so much between beginning to end, and for it to put that much into your flavor palette is just, it blows my mind.
Well, I was, I think he's still with us because I'm divorced now, so I don't know. But my ex-father-in-law, they live out in California, or they did, and we went to visit them, and he lived on a golf course. It was beautiful, and we're sitting there on the patio. On golf courses, they have a rule that the houses can't have fences. They have to,
yeah.
Or they can have a fence, but it can't be a wooden privacy. Well, he had no fence. But we could sit out there in his lovely garden and watch the golfers and stuff. And one night, he asked if he could have a cigar, and I knew my mother-in-law at the time was like, no smoking anything.
Yeah.
But he was like 10 years older. He was like, I'm 80 years old. If I want to smoke a cigar, I'm smoking a cigar. So he pissed her off. He probably didn't get any that night. But anyway, so we're out there, and he was drinking scotch, and I wasn't a scotch guy at the time at all. And I was drinking bourbon, and I said, you don't like bourbon? And he said, no, I like bourbon. He says, I just prefer scotch. He said, but the reason I can drink bourbon and scotch and enjoy a cigar is they have character. He said, vodka, gin, tequila, no character. He said, I'm not saying they're not complex, if they don't. He just said, they don't have character, and that's why I respect the fact that you drink bourbon, and that's why I drink scotch, and that's why I like the cigar. And that just, I was, in my 20s, that just was profound to me. And I think that's what it is the people you described like character. Yep. Cigars have character, coffee has character. One of my Twitter followers sent me a little questionnaire that was cool, and I need to reply to him. I replied to him, but then I haven't replied to his reply. But anyway, he wanted to know my favorite cigar, my favorite Vitola, my favorite coffee bean. That's how he described it. He didn't say your favorite coffee, your coffee bean.
Wow.
And your favorite spirit. Or cocktail. Spirit/cocktail. And so I replied, my favorite cigars, Alec Raleigh Tempest, Vitola, Lancero, coffee bean. I'm like, I like coffee beans, but I just drink ground coffee, and I'll just say Seattle's best. And then, I said bourbon for my cocktail. And he replied with his reasons and stuff, and I'll keep those private. But anyway, this was a guy who obviously is interested in what you think. He obviously listens to our show. He's interested in our opinion, so I was honored that he asked me this question.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's cool stuff. I mean, I think you just get to a certain point in your life where you just want to enjoy the finer things in life. And the finer things in life are really good, rich food.
Yeah.
Whether you make it or you go someplace and get it.
Yep.
Really rich, good coffee,
Yep.
which is outside of Starbucks. There's other stuff.
Yes.
Try it.
Seattle's best is so much better than
Yes, really rich, good cigars. And just it's all about flavor and giving yourself something that is going to excite the senses,
Yep.
Because after your 20s, when you get in your 30s and you get in your 40s, there's other stuff, to be interested in.
You don't drink to get drunk unless we're in Mexico doing a cigar.
Well, yeah.
And we drink because we enjoy the experience and discerning the extra. Even though I wasn't crazy about that Jim Beam thing, I'm glad I tried it. It was something new. It was interesting. I'm not going to say I hated it by any means, but it was interesting enough that I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah.
The few cigars that we weren't crazy about on these reviews, I'm glad I tried them because they are good cigars. A lot of people like them. They just didn't register with me.
Yep.
But it's fun, and that's why we do what we do, and that's why there's so many people out there reviewing things.
So I'm on my last third. What do you?
I am too. My tongue is tingling. I'm getting a lot of extra pepper right now. I'm almost getting that hint of mintiness that you get. It's not peppermint patty kind of mint, but it is maybe a little spearmint.
To me, I've gotten a lot of leather in the last third. I'm getting a little bit of the cocoa, but it's like the it's not really cocoa. It's like a bitter baker's chocolate. So it's a cocoa, but it's the unsweetened cocoa. And there's a creaminess on the last third, but it's mostly in the mouth.
So I'm thinking it's mint, but it could be creaminess.
Maybe there's definitely a tingle on the lips.
I say my tingle's right there on the front part of my tongue. I know most of the buds are in the back, but I'm getting a lot on the front part of my tongue.
I I can honestly
If somebody
say,
sent us another one of these, I'd be happy.
yeah. I mean, at the price point that it is, I probably won't smoke it again unless someone gives it to me. But I wouldn't feel bad spending that amount of money. If I was going to go to a B&M where some friends were having a good time and they have them, I'll spend the money to buy one because it's a good smoke. I mean, this is a great, I don't say it's a good smoke, it's a great smoke. It's a really great smoke.
Yeah.
And I can see why people would clamor to get the jars because, number one, the jar is cool. The jar is badass looking. And you're filling it with 19 really good smokes. So
my burn has been perfect the entire
time. The burn's awesome. Burn's
it's not
great.
razor, but it's still perfect.
I haven't had to relight this at all, but we also haven't stopped. We haven't done the feature and stuff, so that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, great experience overall.
We did talk about Wipeout Check for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Thank you, Damon. Thank you,
Ricky.
Yeah. Awesome
you guys
smoke.
rock. Thank you so much. And for other people that want to send us, special stuff, we'll treat you right and do a special mini-sode. Or
do you know the address to this location?
Yeah, I come here every day.
Doesn't mean you know the address.
1401 East Arapahoe Road, Suite E, as in elephant. Beautiful Richardson, Texas, 75081. And just to preview a couple of things coming up. Can't go into too much disclosure here, but we do have a cigar that I'm going to want us to review coming up that might lead to something later on down the road. But
cool.
It's gotten good reviews, and I think it might be something you will like. I haven't had it either, so I'm hoping I'll like it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And then,
always looking forward to something new. That's what cigars. I mean, let's be honest, we're in a cigar boom. You can't say that crazy because we are in a cigar boom. The last 5 years probably have been, I'd say 5. What do you think?
3 to 5. Yeah.
3 to 5. For the last 3 to 5 years, so many cigars have come out, so many new blenders, so many new types. There's all these special editions coming out and limited editions and everything. There's so much to smoke out there that's just really badass. And if you're sticking to one brand and one cigar, and that makes you happy, great. But I would say go to your tobacconist, go to your B&M, talk to them, tell them this is what I like, and I guarantee you they'll find you 5 other cigars that are going to blow you away. Because there's just so much out there that's great right now.
And if you're in the area, and this isn't patting ourselves on the back, we've been told this by 1 billion people. Well, okay, that's an exaggeration. Like 900 million people anyway. But the beauty of coming to Calypso is you don't walk in the humidor and say, I want a Macanudo, and give you a Macanudo. We'll let you buy the Macanudo, but we want to find out why you like the Macanudo and what are you looking for, and we'll point you to something else that you might like that might be less money.
And that's what a good tobacconist will do. Yeah. A good tobacconist will basically direct you to other things that are in your flavor profile, maybe a little bit outside, but you haven't tried yet. And they're going to.
I remember your first visit here. I remember your first visit here like yesterday, and I didn't know you. Obviously, you just come in, but I could tell you were net savvy. I could tell you had a similar palate tied it. And I sold you the Alec Bradley New York, and you'd heard about it, but you couldn't find it anywhere.
Yep.
And if I hadn't picked up on what you were talking about, I wouldn't have showed you to New York. I'd have said, "Yeah, go pick out what you want. I'm going to stand over here at the register and wait for you to buy your sticks."
Yeah.
We don't do that, and most B&Ms won't. They do the same thing we do, so trust them.
Because I'd say 90% of the B&Ms are owned by people who love to smoke cigars and love cigars, and they know a lot about them. So to not use that knowledge to your benefit is kind of foolish.
Yep.
You're never going to get that going to CI. You can read the descriptions on a website that'll tell you what it's about and what you might like. Yep. But 90% of the time, those descriptions aren't going to really apply to your particular palate. They're just kind of a general overview.
Right.
So it's much different going into a B&M. If you've got B&Ms in your area, visit them, establish relationships with them, because you're going to get a much better, fuller knowledge of cigars from a tobacconist at a B&M than you ever would from a website.
It was like your 4th visit here. You were like, I just want to let you know, man, you guys are my favorite B&M. I mean, it didn't take you long to figure it out. And you're a guy who had been to a bunch and knows what you're looking for and knows what's
I've been to at least 10 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And these are the only guys that actually listened to what I was saying and what I liked and what I wanted to try. And I've heard about this and I've heard about that. And they knew where it was.
And there were some things that you'd heard about that I was like, I don't think you're going to like that. I've had it. And it was the CAO concert. And you wound up liking it.
Yeah.
I just didn't think you'd like it as much as you were going to like other stuff.
Yeah.
And we both actually smoked it that same day together because I hadn't tried it either.
Yeah.
And we wound up liking it. But at first I was kind of like, I don't know if we're going to like that. So.
Yeah.
But it's only because I cared about what you liked.
Exactly.
If I didn't care about what you liked, I'd have been like, yeah, buy the concert. What's new? We need to start selling some. Get rid of them, you know?
Yeah.
But now you were like, I've heard mixed reviews, and I'd like to give it a shot. So, okay, give it a shot.
Yep.
But,
and that's the great thing about it. I mean, it's just, it's really like, it's not like, I'd say it's almost a little more complex than food, because food, there's only, there's Italian food, there's Mexican food, there's Chinese food, and there's food within that food. But with cigars, there's the whole world of things that you haven't tried yet. So try them.
Yeah, I might not like Asian food. That's a subcategory. This is one category within the whole category, subcategory within the whole category of food. But cigars, you do have the many subcategories, but some of the subcategories are very similar to the other subcategories. And if you like something in this subcategory, you're probably going to like something in this.
Yeah, and it goes with the cigar stuff too. I mean, you like Nicaraguans. Okay, well, you're a Nicaraguan guy. Well, guess what? This Dominican has Nicaraguan filler in it, so it's Dominican mixed with Nicaraguan mixed with some other kind of binder.
Right.
And wow, your mind's like, because you didn't know that those things go together.
Mm-hmm.
Certain blenders can do that and make it work. So why not try those things?
Might as well.
Yep.
And that's one of the cigars we're going to try that I was talking to you about. It's a Dominican, but it's supposed to be a peppery, spicy Dominican. So that is oxymorons right there.
It is.
So
I'm
curious to see what that cigar is
usually
all about.
associate that with Nicaraguans. So,
or Honduras.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Because Races is in Honduras.
Yep, it is.
This cigar is going to burn my fingers.
It is going to burn. I'm going to finish it till the bitter end.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead and cut this short, though, because we are running long.
Cut this short after we run long.
We're going to cut it off because we are running long.
But it was fun. We had a good time. Hopefully you got some stuff out of it. And we will see you next time, obviously. We can be found on Podomatic, iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, and follow us on Twitter, and we will give you a shout-out.
And a big thanks to Ricky Paniagua and Damon Vitacco. Excellent choice on sending us those cigars.
You guys rock.
Big thanks to that.
I wish you guys could have won the Perfecto cigar holder. Now that I've had the cigar.
As always, it's been great smoking with you.